Howdy peeps, and welcome to another episode of Talking Paranormal with the Old Man. And as usual, I am the Old Man. Hope you're having a good weekend. My daughter's not here this week. She's going to be here in 2 weeks. I know you're eagerly waiting for her to be here. Well, it should be interesting. But anyways, uh, we decided to try going live, and I wanted to have some time to promote it so people that might want to listen, whatever. But supposedly, from what I'm understanding, that if you are going live with a podcast here on Podbean, that you can take callers. So I think that would be kind of cool, instead of listening to me talk for the whole time, then hearing Jessie, our daughter, chiming in every so often, that you can have callers and have them ask questions. So I think that would be kind of cool. So we're going to try that in 2 weeks. It's going to be, I believe, the 20th. We're going to try it. So at high noon. So high noon on July 20th in 2 weeks, we're going to try to go live. Jesse's going to be not necessarily here, but from my understanding, on the Podbean, if you go live, she can call in from her house, so she doesn't have to actually come to our house. So, which she's only like 10 minutes away. It's not a big deal, but it's easier all the way around. So we're going to try a dry run probably this upcoming weekend here. Try dry run to make sure it all works, and hopefully, in 2 weeks we can try a live podcast. That I think would be kind of cool. It opens up possibilities if we have people that call in to ask questions, comment, hey, you're full of shit, whatever, it's all fair game. Um, and that being said, I'm hoping that, if you have friends in Texas, San Antonio, I think it's Caryville, Hunt, uh, horrendic flood on Friday, July 4th. Many people are dead, many people are missing. So our hearts go out to them. If you have family or friends down there, I hope they're okay. I just want it's just it's really sad all the way around. Uh, Mother Nature, man, she can be a bitch, but I guess they got like a crap load of rain. I want to say I heard anywhere between 6 to 12 inches of rain, and the Guadalupe River just like any river couldn't handle all that water. I think I read 3 trillion cubic gallons or something like that. They were throwing out big names that I'm a simple man. I don't know those big words, but I think it was like 3 trillion cubic gallons. I think it was, or cubic, or it was a lot of freaking rain. Okay, so as I had said earlier in when this podcast first started, it's going to be anything and everything paranormal. So I had thought about doing this for a while. So I am going to talk today about the oh god, the Annabelle doll is currently on a U.S. tour called Devils on the Run. Now, having been doing paranormal investigating for 29 years now, knowing how things can go bad quickly, but on the other hand, knowing that hype can hype things up that isn't necessarily there. So, that being said, who the hell thought that this would be a good idea? Now, whether or not you believe in Annabelle, whether or not you believe, in demons, demonic possessions, demonic presences, not Christmas presences, but demonic presences, presence plural. How this could be a good idea? Okay, supposedly this is in conjunction, and I don't know if it's in conjunction with because the last Conjuring movie is supposed to be out. I want to say this year, or I want to say in 26. I've heard two different release dates. Well, the it's the last series in the Conjuring franchise. It's the Conjuring 4. I don't know if I've seen a name, honestly, of the actual title, but I have read that this tour is in conjunction with the movie. So it's basically promoting the movie. Now, I don't know if it's a official, promotion, whatever. I don't know. I don't know. All I know is she's out there, and if you know, okay, if you know anything about the Annabelle doll, you know, or you should know, that it is from the, well, let me just rephrase this. The original Conjuring movies, not the first one, but the second one, I believe, is when we introduced Annabelle, and I do believe I have mentioned that before. Um, they had her, Ed and Lorraine. Let's go back and do the backstory, I guess. Ed and Lorraine Warren, famous demonologist, they founded the NESPR, which is the New England. Let me make sure I don't want to mess it up here. It is the New England Society for Psychic Research. Now, Ed and Lorraine, they formed this in 1952. As you know, they were famous demonologists, hundreds of investigations, wrote books, did all the high, the kind, not to make fun of them, because I do believe that they did good work, but they're kind of like lawyers now, the bald licking bastards, lawyers like Jeffrey Feiger, Carl Cam Burns, Sam Bernstein. They only do like the high profile cases where they can get on TV, and then, oh yeah, we're following the launch, at a news conference. They don't take Joe Blow's, I got hit by a car, drunk walking down the road. No, no. They only take the high profile where it's already been in the news where someone got killed, whatever, whatever. They have a press conference, news conference, whatever you want to call it, and they get up there. Oh, we're suing for $35 million. Okay, Ed and Lorraine Warren, in my opinion, I know this is going to piss a lot of people off. They're kind of like that. They took the high profile cases. Now they did, from my understanding, did help the average Joe. Okay, that I'm not questioning that. I'm not saying that they did not help the common Joe. But a lot of their high profile cases were the Amityville Horror, where the church was involved, exorcisms and things like that. Now, okay, I know what you're thinking, but dude, the Conjuring, and I know I'm going to pronounce it wrong, the Perron family, that wasn't a high profile case. No, it wasn't. Like I said, but they were doing a lecture, according to the movie. They were doing a lecture, and the mom came up, or Carolyn came up there and said, "Hey, my house is haunted." Blah blah blah. You've seen the freaking movie. Okay, The Conjuring 2, when they were in Greenfield, England, the church wanted them to come over and see it. Again, not a high profile, but in that case, the TV was involved. So, there's an old saying, there's no bad publicity. And I think that's the case with the Warrens. So basically, they would basically investigate, and they founded this organization. Well, Annabelle I guess, came to be in 1968. A student nurse was given, and the Conjuring doll in the Conjuring, I think she came in the Conjuring 3, I believe. And then, and of course, Annabelle Comes Home. Good freaking movie. If you have not seen that movie, good freaking movie. I recommend it. It was scary. Certain parts were scary. Like, holy shit. Scary. Okay. So, anyways, Annabelle is actually not what you see on the Conjuring series, but I'm sure a lot of you are already aware of this. She was a Raggedy Ann doll. Yeah, I know, right? Raggedy Ann and Andy? Yeah. Raggedy Ann was the freaking Annabelle doll in real life. Okay, she was a student nurse was given it as a roommate, and almost immediately the roommates, because she shared a room with a dude and a chick, so three people lived in this house. They almost immediately started noticing weird occurrences, and of course they contacted the medium, of course, and she told them that the doll was inhabited by the spirit of a young girl named Annabelle. So the two roommates tried to accept the doll's spirit and please it, only to have it reciprocate. God damn, that's a big word there. Maliciousness and violent intent. And then this is when Ed and Lorraine Warren were called in and pronounced the doll demonically possessed. They removed it from the house, and you may or may not know that Ed and Lorraine, and I think they still do. I think their daughter Judy still runs it or part of it. The Warren Occult Museum, I think it's in Connecticut, I believe, is where it's at. Well, they have a room. Well, in the Conjuring movies, they have a room where all these, haunted objects are placed. Well, Annabelle, and I'm sure that you have seen this, is placed in a glass case, and it said something to the effect, "Danger, do not open," or something to that effect. Um, yeah, warning, positively do not open. So, and hear me out. And supposedly a priest comes in, and I say supposedly because I don't have firsthand knowledge. If I was there and I saw this priest come in, this Catholic priest come in once a month and bless these objects, then I could say he comes in, or she, not a sexist, comes in and blesses these objects every month. Okay? But because I'm not there, I have to put supposedly in there because supposedly he does. I do not know. I ain't been there. So I don't know. So, anyways, in conjunction with the movie, okay, this this Annabelle doll is taking a tour of the country. Now, it started in May of 2025, and she's already been to West Virginia, San Antonio, and New Orleans. And of course, and again, and I had mentioned before, I am not a religious person. Growing up, we didn't go to Sunday school, didn't go to church. The only Bible I had in the whole house was my uncle's, who passed away when I was young, and it was his Bible. That was the only Bible we had in the whole house. So I am not a religious person. I was not brought up a religious person. So all these stops, I don't want to say skeptics, but and I don't want to say Bible thumpers or religious fanatics. No, I'm just saying that people that I guess the best way would be the people that are not educated. I guess would be a good phrase on the paranormal. Okay, there's a lot of people that automatically you say paranormal, they think demonic, evil, spirits, uh, things like that. And that's not, most of us know that's not the case. Us doing investigations for as long as we have, we know that's not the case. Okay, it's not. Now, is there demons out there? I'm pretty sure there are. Have we ever encountered it in our 29 years of doing the investigation? No, we have not. We have encountered evil spirits, but not demons or demonic yet. Yet. So at these stops, they supposedly are protesters, which because I'm sure local media, I'm sure has advertised this just to for ratings, blah 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 blah. So yeah, so it has been put out there. So and here's my thing. Okay, Kentucky, yeah, I don't know. Actually, West Virginia. I'm sorry. I don't know why I thought about Kentucky. Yeah, I don't know why. Um. Okay. When supposedly when they into supposedly, from my understanding, that wherever Annabelle stops, wherever this tour stops, stuff has happened. Like I want to say in San Antonio, I want to say when that happened, I want to say that I want to say that something happened. Like there was a fire or something, or something. I don't remember, and I should have probably found this out before. But anyways, supposedly every stop that they do, things happen. Like paranormal things happen. Okay, now we have been to Kentucky. I'm not sorry. We have been to New Orleans before, and I don't know about you all, but they're weird as shit anyways. New Orleans is vampires, voodoo. I mean, have you ever heard of Marie Laveau? Hello? You know? Voodoo priestess, voodoo, vampires and shit. You don't need any more stuff down there, you know? So it's just weird to take them down to the Big It's called the Big Easy, okay? So basically, okay, here's what I was talking about. So just a few days after Annabelle arrived in New Orleans, the nearby Nottoway plantation in White Castle caught fire and burned to the ground. This was the largest plantations, or one of the largest plantations, and still standing in the South. And like most of the mansions belonged to the slave owners, the Nottoway plantation was built by enslaved people. So wherever she goes, stuff seems to follow her. Okay, and then on May 19th, a fire broke out in the French Quarter, home of Jody Cajun Queen. Oh, I'm going to slaughter that freaking name. Baudereau, whatever. The home was once the residence of the infamous Marie Laveau. So, seriously. So, no one is certain, and yes, I'm reading it offline because I want to make sure. No one is certain why Annabelle would cause destruction to Laveau's home or if she was even involved, but it's still one of the several strange occurrences to happen during and immediately after the short time Annabelle was in town. Okay. Her Annabelle's stop after New Orleans was at the Psychic and Spirit Fest in San Antonio. It's been said that while she was there, the doll was spotted at the popular gas station Buc-ee's. Oh my God. Possibly gathering some beef jerky or beaver nuggets to snack on for the road trip. Okay. I think that's getting a little bit too freaking far here. Or too, 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 oh my God. That made me laugh and that is cool. Makes me laugh. Okay. So then she went in San Antonio. There was a rumor that Annabelle had managed to escape. Okay, so it had to have been an inside job. Okay, think about it. If she's been locked in this glass case for however many since 1968. So I don't have my calculator here, and I'm not good at math, especially whatever. So since 1968, well, let's see. I'm 60. I was born in 64. So this would have been 56 years, 57 years. God, I do that math quick. 57 years. She has been locked in this glass case. Okay, locked in the glass case. Okay, how the hell, when she's in San Antonio, did she happen to escape her glass cage or glass cage container? What would you call that? Glass. Whatever, glass, whatever. I don't know what you even call it. So how could that be? So it had to be an inside job. So her handlers, let's stir some shit up. Let's unlock Annabelle. Let's walk away and see what she can do. It had to have been. Of course, I'm joking. I'm making fun of that situation there. So then TikTok. Okay, TikTok. The best way I can describe TikTok is like I can describe Ghost Adventures. Paranormal entertainment. Have you seen some of these TikTok videos on these YouTube channels that they show paranormal videos and they react to them? Okay, most of the TikTok ones, right off right off the bat, they're fake as shit. There's no freaking way that that happened. None. None. There's always that 1%, but none, okay? So TikTok was flooded with videos of users on the morning of Saturday, May 24th, who were shocked, surprised, and otherwise completely terrified of the fact that a demonic doll, Annabelle, was on the loose. Some even believed she may have been stolen. Again, inside job. They weren't getting paid enough. Have you heard of ransom? Kidnapping for ransom? Okay. So this is by Patty Negri, Negri. She is a psychic medium and author of Dollcraft, A Witch's Guide to Puppet Magic and Haunted Dolls. She says, and I quote, and see, I can say this because I did say it was from her, and I did say, and I quote. Otherwise, I could be in trouble. If a spirit-attached doll like Annabelle were ever truly missing, it wouldn't just be a lost object. It could trigger real energetic disturbances. I can see that. Spirits bound to dolls often have unfinished business or unresolved trauma. I will believe in that too, or I agree with that. And moving them without care can stir up unpredictable activity. And I agree with that too. So she ain't talking totally out of her rear end. She doesn't make a lot of sense. Okay. So now she can supposedly, okay, supposedly, so this is Ryan, oh God, Buella, Beulah, Buelle. So the rumor that Annabelle escaped was soon debunked, and I hate that word, debunked. That's a ghost adventure. That's Zach's freaking expression. Debunked. How about proven to be unreal or unfactual? I like that better. I hate debunked. Oh, I debunked it. Bullcrap. You basically wasn't debunked. It was proven to be untrue. There you go. I just created a phrase. Instead of debunked, it was determined to be untrue. There we go. Bingo. So he is a paranormal investigator associated with the tour. Yeah, surprise, surprise. Took the TikTok later that day to confirm Annabelle was not missing. The rumor stated that the tour was headed to Chicago, which I don't think it was. And Annabelle decided to get a head start. But that Ryan dude let everyone know that the tour had no dates for Chicago. See, I didn't think they did. And quickly put the rumors to rest. He went on to say that Annabelle was safe and sound back home in her case at the Warren's Occult Museum, resting until the tour started up again. There was never any scheduled tour plans for her to go to Chicago. Annabelle is not missing. So even though the rumor was quickly put to rest, the internet and many others who believe in the paranormal feel that Annabelle has wreaked havoc since her departure from the Warrens, and the tour isn't over yet. So she was not missing, I guess. So yeah. So okay. So now July 11th through the 13th, I do believe she is going to the Gettysburg Orphanage. Now I have heard of the Gettysburg Orphanage. I'm taking refreshing drinks of iced tea. So if you've listened to any of my podcasts, we have been to Gettysburg many times. The only problem I have, and it's not necessarily Gettysburg, and you've heard this before, is anybody that charges a fee to investigate something, which is fine. Waverly Hills does that. Trinway Place in Prospect, Ohio. The Velisca House. I'm dropping some names of where we have investigated. They all put the money, and the big one, Ohio State Reformatory, Shawshank Redemption. How can I forget that when I saw my first apparition there? And that's going to be in a future podcast too, by the way. So I don't have a problem if you do that and you put the money back into the building. You take a little bit for yourself, for your troubles, because everyone has to make money, right? But put some money back into the house. or the building. Don't be a greedy bastard and take it all for yourself. Okay? We have seen people that freaking do that. They'll take, they'll split it half and half. No, 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 no. Give it all to the freaking house or the building. As long as they're putting money, like Waverly Hills, they're putting money back into it. They're replacing all, the windows. They're repainting. We have been there a couple years ago, and they've done amazing work. The first time we were there was 2017, and we were there, like I said, 2023, I believe it was. Is either 2022 or 2023 that we went back to Waverly Hills, and they've done wonders. They're putting in a new cooling heating system. They've cleaned up a lot of the junk, a lot of the graffiti, painting, all the lead paint hanging from the ceilings and stuff. So they are doing work to it, and that's all that I ask. You know, put money back into it. Well, the no, okay, so now they're saying it's the haunted Gettysburg Orphanage, which there's rumors that it has. We have not been there before, there at the orphanage, but it was established as a sanctuary for the children of the Union soldiers who lost their lives in the war. And if they were orphans, they went to the Gettysburg Orphanage. Of course, it wasn't haunted back then. And supposedly the headmistress, owner, in charge, I don't know what you would call her, Rosa Carmichael. She became the matron, the person in charge. So under supposedly, and again, this is I'm getting this from where I heard on TV. All some of these ghost adventures, of course, have been there. If it's haunted, Zach's there. If it's not haunted, he's still there. And and I think ghost hunters were too. They're actually making a comeback after years of not being anything. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. Of not doing anything. And from what I've seen on TV, when you know how it is, they'll talk about it before you actually start the investigation or whatever. The orphanage had become under Rosa Carmichael. The orphanage became associated with fear, abuse, and cruelty. It was said that the orphanage was run with an iron fist, showing little empathy for the children. God, one more big word. The extent of her mistreatment is disturbing to hear, as some have said she used the basement of the orphanage as a makeshift dungeon where she would confine the children as a form of cruel punishment. The children were also beaten, starved, and forced to perform grueling tasks as punishment. There are dolls and children's toys lying around the building cellar, making it an ideal place for Annabelle to feel at home. Now, supposedly, some of these groups that have been in there, they've encountered shadows, EVPs, things move. Of course, a dark, evil presence. You gotta have that in there, man. Got to have a dark, evil, demonic presence. So I would be interested in that. I honestly, I haven't checked the prices for this. I don't know how much it is or how much it's not. I don't know. Um, would I go? Um, I would probably go just to see Annabelle. I wouldn't care to investigate the orphanage, but would I like to have the opportunity to see Annabelle? Yeah, yeah, I would. There's also a doll, a doll, I guess, Robert. He's in Florida, and he was a child's toy. And I'm sure that if you haven't looked it up, look up Robert. And he's encased in a glass enclosure in Florida. And people say that if you go up there and not even touch him, if you mock him, Robert, I mean, if you mock him, make fun of him, this isn't real, blah blah. Bad luck befalls you. So I'm not saying that I would do this with Annabelle. I show respect, okay? True or not true, you know, made up or fact. With Annabelle, I would show the respect. But would I like to be up close to her? Hell yeah. Who wouldn't be? You know, especially being a medium. Hell yeah. I'm not gonna go up and say, "Hey, show me what you got." No, I'm not good. Like I said, no. I don't taunt. Not like certain TV shows who taunt to get results. We don't taunt. So I wouldn't taunt Annabelle. I would not make fun of Annabelle. But would I be interested in meeting her? Oh yeah, hell yeah. I would be the first person in line. So if you're in Gettysburg, July 11th through the 13th, I do believe, see it. And if you do see it, and if you're listening now, come back here in 2 weeks. Go live, call in, and tell us. I would be genuinely interested if you have went to the orphanage and saw Annabelle personally. I'm curious. So now supposedly she is coming to Rock Island Roadhouse in Illinois. No idea where that's at. No idea what it is. She's coming there in October, and I will bet my bottom dollar is going to be somewhere around Halloween. I'm not saying for a fact, but I'm guessing pretty close to Halloween. Uh, so basically, the Rock Island Roadhouse is another haunted location Annabelle will visit. The historic old building holds many secrets of the past. Shadowy figures have been known to dart from room to the next. Okay. There's also unnerving noises as you walk up the staircase, and the trunk elevator. What the fuck is a trunk elevator? Is a popular spot for picking up EVP recordings, as well as the sounds of blood-curdling screams. The Roadhouse was a popular YMCA for a while until 1976 when a fire broke out and destroyed most of the building. That kind of sucks. After that, the building was rebuilt and reopened as a YMCA. YMCA come for a while, a year after the fire. Today, the part of the building is used as a furniture store. Oh, so that makes it haunted. Okay, so basically, that's it. That's all that I really wanted to talk about today is the Annabelle and the mystery that still surrounds Annabelle. And then, yeah, so other locations it says that, and I'm looking at it online now because I would not remember this. Yeah, the tour will move to Rock Island. Okay, yeah, Gettysburg is July 11th through the 13th. Then she visited the West Virginia State Penitentiary. Didn't hear of anything that happened there. And Victoria Black Swan Inn in San Antonio. Did not hear of anything that happened there either. The only thing, I mean, other than things have happened that they are attributing to her. Um, so Rock Island is next. That's sometime in October, but no specific date has been given. And I do believe she's going to. No, I believe I believe she's going to Illinois in October, and I want to say Kentucky in October, and I think that that's about it for her tour. But of course, Kawinky Dinky, it stops right before or after Halloween. Hmm. I wonder if that's a Kawinky Dinky or if that was unintentionally planned that way. I'll leave that for you guys to decide. So that is the paranormal news today. Yep, October it is in Illinois and Kentucky. So as I'm rambling on here, pretty much rambling on here, I am still looking up facts here. Now, supposedly, let me just give you one last thing of advice here. Oh, see, I did not know this. The Warren Museum was closed in 2019 following Lorraine's death. So it has closed now. Oh, but while it was open, it showcased many of the many interesting relics the couple obtained during the years of conducting investigations. I did not know that. I thought it was still open. See, you learn stuff here every day. Okay? So basically, I did read this someplace that a Catholic priest was still following Annabelle, and they did, or she was blessed every time before she made an appearance at these festivals or the prison or the orphanage, that she is still blessed. A priest does bless her to keep any spirits away. So that's good, I guess. That was one of the reassurances that I read that you ain't got to worry about going. She can't hurt you. She's being blessed every day. Okay, well. Then with that being said, I think I could ramble on for another hour, but I'm not going to. So again, our daughter will be here. Well, not here, but hopefully, if everything goes as planned, knock on wood, she will be here online joining us on the 20th, and we're going to attempt to go live, my first ever live podcast. So we'll see how that's a train wreck waiting to freaking happen. I can guarantee that right now. But we're going to try it live, and we can take, from my understanding, we can take phone calls. So, if you're listening, or if you have friends or whatever that don't listen, have them call in, or just have them peek in online for a second, give us a call, ask a question, get the hell out. That's all we're asking for. So, mark down, I will keep on reminding you guys. So, July 20th at high noon. That's high noon. That's from the Old West. The shootout at high noon. So we're going to see what train wreck that we can make. So again, July 20th at high noon, we're going to be live with our daughter, and hopefully we'll have some people calling in to ask questions. Because otherwise, me and her are going to be talking for the whole half an hour or 45 minutes, and you don't want that. It gets boring after a while, especially hearing my own voice. I kind of sound like Trump there for a second. Anyways, that's basically all I have for today. Enjoy your day, the rest of your day. Here at home in Michigan, it's looking out the window, partly cloudy. Supposed to rain though, so I'm not washing the car today. Why wash it if it's just going to rain on it, right? Right. I did put in a new faucet or a new drain in our sink. I put one in last week, but stupid me, I put one in that had a overflow drain. We don't have an overflow drain, so it leaked all over the damn floor. So I replaced it this morning from Amazon. You can get anything you want from Amazon. We got a drone finally. We had a drone, but haven't flown it yet. So we are going to Monument Valley in November, and one of the places you can't do it in Monument Valley, but you can fly drones in the Valley of the Gods. So a lot of people have been saying, why don't we have drones? Okay, not a lot of people, two people, okay, have asked us, and one of them was my wife. Okay, I said it. She wanted to know why we didn't have a drone. So we got a drone on Amazon yesterday. It's has a 32 gig flash drive, or not flash drive, SD card, so we can tape directly to the SD card, and the controller for it has a built-in 4-inch LCD screen, so you don't need to have your phone. That was an added bonus right there. So we're gonna try maybe today. Take her out. It's supposed to rain. We gotta charge the battery for about 3 hours, it says. So I don't know if we're gonna be able to do it today, because Channel 6 Precision Cast. Channel 6 is a TV station here in Lansing. Their Precision Cast says it's going to start raining at about 2 o'clock. So we will see if we can fly it or not today. But anyways, I've rambled enough. I got off track a little bit. So, as usual, until we meet again, stay away from the light, please. And until the next time, bye-bye.